Confidence is one of the most important things you need to have. It could lead to so many different things, but sometimes it can be hard to always be confident. I personally feel like my confidence always fluctuates. Sometimes I'll be feeling so good about myself, and a few days later, I start to get in my own head. And it's the most frustrating thing ever, because when I'm not feeling good about myself, I don't have motivation to do anything. But then I remember to do certain things that usually brings my confidence right back to where it's supposed to be at. For example, the first thing would be talking to people. It's so important to make conversation with new people, learn different things, and most importantly, it's a good way to get out of your comfort zone. You're not going to feel your best if you're always staying comfortable. You have to challenge yourself. One of the best ways to challenge yourself is talking to new people. Now, when I mean talking to people, I try to mean they should have something going for themselves. I think it's pretty easy to spot out who you should be talking to and who you shouldn't be talking to. But once you find that right person, I like to pick at their brain and find things that I can learn for myself. But what tends to happen, for me personally at least, is when I'm talking to somebody and I'm engaging in a really good conversation, I think it's just a good energy around, but I start to feel really good about myself. So try that out. Like I said, it works for me, and it can honestly work very well for you as well. The next thing would be taking care of your skin. Now, I always say this, but when my skin is looking good, when it's looking clear, I feel really good about myself. And that's exactly why I use the sponsor of today's video, Curology. By now, you've probably heard of Curology because there's so many people that talk about them, and it's for a good reason. So me personally, I'm not a morning person. I'm very sluggish in the mornings. I don't feel like doing anything, so I need something quick and simple to make sure I stay consistent with my skincare. That's exactly what Curology is. Just to put it in perspective, as soon as I wake up, I wash my face. Kind of helps me wake up a little bit. Now what I use is the cleanser from Curology. Once I'm done with that, I literally just put on moisturizer and that's it. And by the way, there's so many guys out there that don't use moisturizers. So if you don't already, you got to start using moisturizers. Once the night comes, I pretty much do the same thing. But before throwing on my moisturizer, I use the custom formula that was created for me by dermatology providers. Curology has easily been my favorite way to treat acne and make sure my skin is looking good. Skincare is so important, yet so many guys out there, they overlook it. So don't be like most guys out there. Start taking care of your skin, especially this new year. If you really want to make a big change, start with your skincare. And the perfect way to get into that skincare journey is using Curology. First, let's take a look of what comes inside the Curology box. First, let's start off with the lip balm. In my opinion, this is way better than any lip balm that I've ever tried. So if you want to avoid chapped lips, this is the way to do so. Inside is also an emergency spot patch. These are literally lifesavers. If you wake up and notice a very red pimple on your face, all you have to do is put one of them on and it'll help reduce it. And finally, the most important, inside the actual Curology bag is the things that I was mentioning earlier. So the cleanser, the moisturizer, and the custom formula created for me by dermatology providers. So just in one box is things that I use pretty much every single day. Start your Curology journey today at the link in my description. Subscription is required, subject to consultation. And there's no commitment. You can cancel literally anytime. So do yourself a favor, start taking care of your skin, and try out Curology. Alright, the next thing that brings my confidence back to its high is grooming. When I take care of any unwanted hair on my face, whether it be on my face, my eyebrows, nose hair, anything like that, it's just really not pleasant to look at. So when I clean that up, I feel better about myself. Honestly, grooming is more than that. You got to take care of your fingernails, which is something that I struggle with because I get lazy. But I am getting better at reminding myself to cut my fingernails. Take care of your hygiene. Make sure you smell good. Wear deodorant. Wear colognes. Nobody likes to be around somebody that smells bad, so don't be that person. If you want a few recommendations, a good shaver, I personally like the Philips Noroko. Or if you want an actual blade, you could probably use something like Dollar Shave Club. I still debate if I want to do my eyebrows myself or go somewhere where they can take care of it. I'll probably play around with those and let you know what I think. But for now, I usually just have my barber do it. And if you want to smell good, my favorite deodorant is Native, and some of my favorite colognes that I've been wearing recently. I've been loving the scent by Hugo Boss, and one that I've been getting a lot of compliments with is Legend Spirit. This is one of the more affordable options, just in case you want to play around with that. The next thing is going to be going to the gym. When I feel good in the gym, my confidence just skyrockets. Honestly, going to the gym quite literally changed my life. Now, what most people tell you is that it teaches you discipline because you got to go every day, you got to eat right. And although I do agree with that, I personally at this point just go to the gym just because I'm so used to going every single day. And honestly, it's a perfect way for me to clear my head. So yeah, I honestly fell in love with the gym. It definitely raised my confidence a lot. But if you don't want to go to the gym, any other kind of exercise would do good as well. The next thing that always raises my confidence would be reading, which kind of sounds like a weird one just because, especially if you're a younger guy, you probably don't want to read. I know that's how I was. Never wanted to read. I never wanted to think about books. Hated them. But when I started to read more self-development books and some self-improvement books, I felt like they made me feel a lot better about myself as well. Now, I probably won't give you too many options off the bat right now because for me, it's still something new, but just know there are plenty of options out there. But yeah, like I said, my confidence tends to fluctuate a lot. There are plenty of other things that I like to do to kind of raise my confidence, but These are definitely like the main ones. Another thing would be dressing better, but the thing is my entire channel is about that, so I didn't want to use that as an actual talking point. But yes, dressing better definitely helped me raise my confidence. In fact, that's what kind of started my whole self-improvement and kind of being more confident journey. I was 14, really didn't know how to dress, and once I started getting into that, after that I started getting into hygiene, I started getting into fragrances, a bunch of things like that. Another thing that really helps me raise my confidence is hanging around the right people. Now, if you're a younger guy, it kind of sucks to hear, but maybe sometimes your friends don't really do that much for your confidence, especially if you're the guy in the friend group that's always the butt of the joke. It can be really hard to raise your confidence when everyone's always clowning on you. I personally believe that you are who you surround yourself with. So if you start hanging out with a bunch of guys that are very confident, that know how to talk, chances are you'll probably end up being like them as well. Luckily now, I surround myself with good people. I try to be very picky of who I spend my time with, but all my friends that I hang out with, I love having good conversations with them, talking about self-improvement, finances, whatever, and hanging around with the people that I usually hang around with definitely helped me raise my confidence a lot. At the end of the day, it does take time. I always talk about how I was very insecure when I was 15 years old, but here I am, I'm 19, and I feel a lot better about myself. So I hope this video did help you out, and if it did, make sure to leave a like. But other than that, I'll see you in the next video.